Hello everybody and welcome to Gamesplay. This video is about my wish list for Mortal Kombat X. The characters in this video are all icons from horror movies, so um, they all can fit in Mortal Kombat X, but these characters are not in it and have not been announced. So this is just pure my opinion. First up, we have Ash from the Evil Dead. I think he would be a great character to the MKX roster because he has a chainsaw and he uses his boom shot, shotgun, whatever you want to call it, and he has these great one-liners that can come in real handy for if you beat someone and you feel good about it. He can make a comment about that, and I think that is pretty neat. And here are the variations for him. First up is the chainsaw variation. This variation is all about the chainsaw. I know that Leatherface has a chainsaw too, and he is coming to Mortal Kombat X, but this variation he uses a chainsaw with one hand, which means that he can use his left arm to do other things like grabbing, punching, use his shotgun, boomstick, whatever. So I think that this variation could really work. His second variation is the Boomstick variation. This variation, as the name says, is all about his boomstick. Aaron Black can use guns like rifles, pistols and so on, so why not a shotgun? This shotgun is not OP as most people think because it can be used just like Aaron Black's rifle and guns, so I think that this variation could work. In his last variation, it should be possessed because the possessed variation of Ash is really evil, really vicious. He looks pretty gnarly, so in this variation he can use his demonic powers and telekinesis and so on. This variation should be a little similar to Ermac's moveset, and I think it could really work and benefit the game. So. My second pick is Chucky from Childsplay. What's not to love about a serial killer that is trapped in the body of a little doll? This guy is pretty small, but don't let that fool you because he uses knives, he can strangle people, and he's really good up close. So I think it's pretty cool if he made it into the game. So let's see the variations. The first variation is the slasher variation. In this variation, he uses a kitchen knife, a really big kitchen knife, to slice and dice. With his slasher variation, he should be pretty quick, but he has to come in close to really do some good damage with cool combos and so on. Maybe a grappling move, and laughs while he does it. So I think it could work. The second variation should be the Strangler variation. In this variation he can use a rope or whatever, or a bag, and in this variation he needs to have a lot of grappling moves. Now you think he's small, but with grappling moves I mean really get on top of the other player and really stick it to the other player, if you know what I mean, just strangling him and so on. The final variation should be the toy doll variation, where he uses a lot of toy related items and surprises, like traps and so on, and he can use his own body to throw or hit. For instance, he can rip his own arm off and hit you with it. That would be pretty cool. The third character should be Freddy Krueger. I know that he was in Mortal Kombat 9, but in Mortal Kombat X, just imagine how they could make him, how detailed his face and all could be. And maybe have a couple of cool tricks up his sleeve from the remake of the original movie and so on. I really think that they should put him back. His first variation should be the Nightmare variation, where he can use everything at his disposal to maybe fright the player, stun him, or damage him. Just make things appear out of the blue. In this variation, you should think about it. You're in his nightmare. He can make anything he wants. That should be pretty cool. His second variation should be the fire variation because Freddy Krueger himself was killed by fire, and in this variation he should use a lot of fire tricks, maybe a bit like Scorpion, but with a twist to it, just like Freddy Krueger himself would do. So I think it could really work. The last variation should be around his claw. His claw is his trademark weapon, and as in Mortal Kombat 9, he uses his claw a lot and he was pretty fast with it. So in the new Mortal Kombat, it can really look good. And to be honest with you, we don't have a character with claws in Mortal Kombat X. Am I right? The fourth character on my list is Pinhead from Hellraiser. Hellraiser is a guy that really knows how to bring the pain and uses a lot of tools, chains, pins, pinhead, pins, and needles, and so on to really inflict a lot of pain. And I think that he would fit pretty well into the Mortal Kombat X roster. His first variation should be hook chains or chains. He uses a lot of his chains in the movies. It's like what Freddy has with his claws. The chains are really a trademark of Hellraiser. He can use it to uh, get someone, entangle someone, maybe rip them or rip them apart in a fatality. I don't know, but it could work. The second variation should be all around his Cenobites, and he uses them as companions just like Alien did, just like Ermac did with his souls, Quan Chi, I think, yeah, Quan Chi with his demons. Then why can't Hellraiser use Cenobites? They look really gnarly and would fit the game perfectly. And last but not least, the Hellbeast variation. He also has animals, I think, like dogs, maybe a flying demon thing. I don't know, but these beasts he can send after the player, maybe um, damage them, stun them, and so on. And again, it's really gnarly. So the last guest character should be the Thing from the movie The Thing. Nobody knows what it looks like, but he has a couple of cool variations to his thing, you know. Um, and in the variations, he should look really different from anything you've ever seen. It can look so good, I know. His first variation should be the spider variation. He can turn into a spider in a movie or a spider-like monster, and one time on 2 legs, the other time on 4 legs, and maybe 8 legs. I don't know, but he uses all these tentacles and all that crap. It's really cool to see that. The second variation should be a dog-like variation, because in the movie he also rips open dogs and transforms into this weird demonic dog-like creature, and really the feel of the whole entire movie is so twisted and so effed up, you know? And the last variation is the human variation, where the thing can look like a mix between everything that he can be, but has a human appearance and use needles, tail whips, I don't know, maybe biting, everything you can think of he can use because he can transform into it. So. And that was it for this episode. Please let me know what you think of the video. Maybe drop a like or a comment down below. And let me know what you like to see me do in the future. Would you like to see gameplay videos, more of these top 10, top 5 type of videos? Just let me know. See you later. Bye.